Welcome to the Liberation.Tech podcast, brought to you by Jordan Nuance LLC and hosted by Dr. Renée Jordan. This podcast is a accumulation of Dr. Jordan's dissertation work and her passion for empowering Latinas, Afro-Latinas, Black women, and girls to navigate the academic and professional worlds with confidence and success. Whether you're a mother or guardian guiding a child through grades 6 through 12, an undergrad or grad student, someone working on a dissertation or thesis, or simply looking to carve out your niche in the career landscape, this podcast is for you. Each episode, Dr. Jordan shares her story, offers invaluable advice, and provides practical coaching to help you thrive in school, work, and beyond. Join our community on patreon.com/BlackLiberationTech and become a member for as low as $5 per month. As a member, you'll gain exclusive access to live recordings, impromptu academic and career coaching, and a network of like-minded individuals committed to mutual support and success. You're also welcome to follow Black Liberation Tech on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Visit black-liberation.tech for even more information on Dr. Jordan's adventure in Inglés o Español. Tune in, get inspired, and let's embark on this journey together. Welcome to black-liberation.tech, where your success story begins. So in addition to being flexible in terms of recognizing your time commitments, you need to be flexible as it relates to your committee members. You need to consider what they're willing to do and how they're willing to work with you. Respect that, as well as incorporate the feedback that they provide you. I mentioned that I removed 30 pages. They told me, Renée, this is too much. You can't do all of this and expect to graduate anytime soon. You have to clean it up and simplify it in order to make it succinct and clear, and you can work on those other aspects at another time. You'll have a lifetime to work on your research. Right now, we are trying to help you get through your dissertation, and the best dissertation, as they said, is a done dissertation. And so you don't have to save the world with your dissertation all at one time. You can come back to it, chip away at it, work on it, and continue to work on it after you graduate. Now, other deadlines that you need to consider include university deadlines. You need to know it for your department. You need to know it for your college. You need to know it so that when you apply for graduation, you're applying based upon the deadlines that they set. Most of the time, you have to apply. If you're graduating in the spring, you have to apply by the fall or even before the fall semester starts. Check with your graduate research office. Find out when those timelines are. Find out when you have to submit your prospectus, which is your dissertation proposal. Find out when you have to submit your dissertation, because the chances are there's a series of signatures that have to be met before you can do your actual defense. And in my case, those signatures included the dean of the school. So that meant I had to make sure that everything that needed to be signed off, including my abstract, which had a certain word limit, which was also defined by the actual college and not necessarily our department, had to be met. Make sure you're meeting all of the expectations and requirements. So not just for your department, not just for your committee, but also for the actual college that's signing off on your work as well. So make sure you address the college and university deadlines and incorporate those in your plans to finish. Make sure that you take the time to break down this large task of completing a dissertation into smaller, manageable pieces. What does that look like? Well, you can start with an outline. So for my dissertation, there was a template that was used. Now, how it gets filled in is up to you, but there were distinct sections that were required. And as a result, that allowed me to take a look at my dissertation in smaller pieces. And so for the proposal, I needed to have chapters 1, 2, and 3 complete. And chapter 1 was the introduction, chapter 2 was the literature review, and chapter 3 covers my methodology, my research methodology. So how would I go about my data collection and analysis process? So with the introduction, it was nice to start there, but that introduction changed more over time than the actual literature review. So don't hold yourself to having to fill out your proposal or even your dissertation in a linear fashion. It's okay to jump around. You have your outline in place so that things are in order, but yes, you can jump around. You might need to read more. You might need to cover more in your literature review before you're able to create a succinct introduction that gets to the so what of your proposal or your dissertation. People need to know before they get to the literature review why your work is important. Who should consider your work? How do you expect your work to impact the discipline in which you work, the field, the knowledge base? Are you taking a look at another perspective of a phenomenon? Or are you exploring something that is not talked about at all? Why is your work important? By breaking up my proposal and my dissertation into smaller pieces, it allowed me to not feel overwhelmed. It's one thing for me to work on my research methodology so that I can say, this is how I plan to collect the data, and be able to revisit things based on my final decisions. And then after a good review of the literature, I had a better idea of how I wanted to move as it related to my chapter 3 and my chapter 1. And so feel free to jump around. Feel free to do one bit or piece at a time. You don't have to sit down and go from page 1 to page 30. You can hop around because you'll have your outline that creates the linear order that others will need in order to review your work. And at times, people will actually jump around themselves and decide what is it about your work that they actually want to read. Are they interested in seeing what work you reference? Are they going to make sure that you have the critical scholars in your literature before they decide to read your work? So are there people that you have to address in order to show that you have done the scholarly work of research and considered those who came before you and what they brought? Or perhaps they are looking for a research methodology to help themselves out. Like I said, I went to the prospectus and dissertation defense of someone else who used daughtering in their work. They were in music education. I was in learning sciences. However, because I saw the title of her work and I read her abstract, I realized that she might have something that I could glean from, and that I did. I learned about daughtering, and I did end up using daughtering in my final dissertation. I want to encourage you to remain flexible with your goals. Life, research, and unexpected challenges might push timelines or necessitate goal adjustments. It's important to maintain a balance between setting goals and being open to changes. Don't allow changes to cause you to quit. I had never experienced a pandemic before, and there was a lot going on. A lot. And when there is a lot going on, it's okay to reevaluate what it is that you're doing and pick out what's most important and focus on that. For me, what was most important was finding out how others, specifically Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women, were able to get to these technology-saturated industries in order to help me learn what I could do to help someone else. And as a result, I did learn. And furthermore, I continue to learn. The blackliberation.tech website is an open educational resource that is the direct result from my dissertation. I said I wanted to learn so I could share it with others, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So when there's, once again, a lot going on, pick out what's most important. Figure out what is manageable in the amount of time that you have. Be flexible, be open. Don't try to do everything all at once. It's okay to just focus on a small part and work on that and work on it well. I earned the Outstanding Dissertation Award in April of 2023 as a result of my work. And so the Department of Learning Sciences, the College of Education, recognized me for having an outstanding dissertation. And I was very proud of that because it took me a long time. I took the full 7 years to complete my dissertation. I worked full time the whole time and finished my dissertation in 7 years. I did graduate research assistantships. I taught online, so I did graduate teaching assistantships. I was able to present at least 10 times on my work as it related to what I was doing with my advisor in an after-school program, as well as my own work that came about as a result of my writing manuscript class with my research methodologist. So find out what's most important, focus on that, do that part well, and get your stuff done. You can do it. Thank you for tuning in to the blackliberation.tech podcast, brought to you by Jordan Nuance LLC and hosted by Dr. Renée Jordan. We hope today's episode has inspired you and provided valuable insights to help you navigate your academic and professional journey with confidence and success. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, as well as rate and review the podcast to help it become more discoverable. Whether you're guiding a child through grades 6 through 12, tackling undergraduate or graduate studies, working on a dissertation or thesis, or exploring your career options, this podcast is here to support you every step of the way. Join our community on patreon.com/blackliberationtech and become a member for as low as $5 per month. As a member, you'll enjoy exclusive access to live recordings, impromptu academic and career coaching, and a network of like-minded individuals committed to mutual support and success. Don't forget to follow Black Liberation Tech on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Visit black-liberation.tech for even more information on Dr. Jordan's adventures, available in both English and Spanish. Stay inspired, stay empowered, and keep moving forward. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.